Hi friends, and welcome back to playing tribute to the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, where last time, did you know we went through 3 parts of the case, even though it was only 1 part for us? Yeah, apparently that first little segment where we were introduced to the Chief Justice and the case in general was called the an investigation part, even though we didn't investigate anything, we knew nothing going into the trial. And then we went through 2 parts of the trial, because apparently the first part ended when the jury was convinced to go through information again. So we're on part 3, technically, but I still labeled this as part 2, because this is weird. So that's why it was so long, because they just didn't have it to be continued in between each of those parts, apparently. But it is read, like you can see, it says trial part 3. It's like, what? So let's carry on, shall we? Smoke bomb, possible third passenger inside. Weird stuff is happening. We're gonna see what happens now. What on earth just happened to there? Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened. Mr. Sato, I was told it was an advanced form of a smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke. Smoke grenade? Sounds like the sort of things ninjas use. They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who would have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear. A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilden was just talking about? My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilden, actually? There's so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions. Along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She's taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself. There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. Yeah, I think I brought this up last time. How did she go in without paying? It comes to a total of 20 pence, exactly. But now it seems we were in fact 5 passengers. Oh, that's me, sorry. But now it seems there were in fact 5 passengers. Which means the figures don't seem to add up again. She's right. That is strange. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. We'll know soon enough, Miss Susato. Yes. There's the young girl next to Mr. McGilden. Look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilden. Now then, Lord Van Zees. My lord, I believe you have established the cause of the spill which failed the proceedings earlier. It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the sort typically employed by the army. Good gracious! The army? What in the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. And now occupies the stand. Your name, girl. Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom. What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? Ahem. If I may, my lord. Yes, Mr. McGilded. I think perhaps I ought to explain here. Why it is that this wee lass is here in the first place, and why she tried to behave like that. It is all tied up with the events of that night, so it is. Very well, Mr. McGilded, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. Well, it was either you or nobody, so... On the night in question, I took back seats in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I set him up in the seat across from me. And I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child there, curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus, is that correct? It is exactly as the defense counsel said. The lass was the fifth passenger, my lord. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord. As I'll ever be. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. I never like when they go over to the prosecution and show the ... from them. Like, are they what are they thinking specifically?
Hold it!
And when you first got into the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty and there was no one on the roof deck either. You were the first passengers, Laura. I see. Aye, and that's what took the backside as I did. It is most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means. 'Tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman was stabbed and sitting. Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable one, where I feel most at ease. And of course I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well. Zeeks is thinking of something. Then begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fresh start. A loud thud, you say, and a scream? Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor, having been stabbed? Well now, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fellow on the floor. Didn't see anyone. At the same moment you did hear a scream. From the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume. Not above me, my lord. Just from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was just stunned by the desperate sight before my eyes.
Hold it!
You sat him up? The victim, you mean? That I did, on the seat across from me, as I said. Could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. But you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you? It's common courtesy, so it is. I find that a little hard to believe. Arrah, Lord Van Zeeks! Now why would that be? You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is. Well now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offered him. Some would even see me dead. So I do try, where at all possible, to avoid getting myself in a tangle of trouble. Are you suggesting you're just going to leave the man there? Heavens alive, no! I will always be intending to report it, so I was. Only I had a mind to find the ways and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores? Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to me. That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? Yes, the scream he says he heard at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing.
Hold it!
I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir. So I did, as far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well, now, it's a queer thing. A wee scream I heard as I woke up. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside. Good gracious! Under your backside? And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a cubby hole there for storage. Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember? Yes, of course. The whole bus is submitted as evidence. This would be a very good time to have a thorough look inside. Yeah, but I already... That's when I found her. The child there...
Hold it!
You say she was hiding herself? Aye, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, my heart nearly stopped beating in my chest. You're really overacting this. Still no. I pulled her out from under there and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chin wag with her. Seat opposite? That's right. Just next to the dead gentleman there. You sat this young girl next to a corpse, sir? Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So I needed to find out just who the surgeon was, you see. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream. A fellow's voice this time. Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the window skylight. You must have seen the same girl, the gentleman with a knife in his belly. In other words, the previous witness did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGillicuddy. What they believed to be yourself as the victim, and yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason. Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight. Yes, apologies, I should have ran with that line of thought. I just thought for some reason, because I knew about the cubby hole and the story of her being inside of it, I was going with that. Because I was like, oh, that must be what they're doing. But I should have just ran with the logic that I had to begin with, which was, oh, you couldn't see right directly underneath you. So apologies for the slight expectation of someone hiding in the cubby hole that I put forward a little early in the last part. Certainly plausible that the defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused perhaps with this young girl. After that, of course, with the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled them to horses. Thank you, I've heard enough. The events explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is this girl? Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer. Earns her crust among the large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. What? This girl here? Petty thief? Order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? She hasn't spoken a word. Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question. Ah! How dare you? What is the meaning of this? And she's gone. The girl, she's gone. Open your eyes. I'm over here. This is the one that I was like, I wish I could do a Cockney accent, because she clearly has one, and I can't do it. Good gracious, how? What was the point in that little sidestep? Maybe the words, the spelling of the words themselves will help me with the accent. I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you say, slipped up and got caught in a job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gen. Go on, that's what's in your head, ain't it? It'll take me a while to figure out her voice, but I'll get it. No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast. Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. It's gonna turn southern. that's the only way I can... Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs? Oh, this? Yeah, this isn't a bag I lifted the other day. Down where they keep the four-wheel drags. It's nice, isn't it? I like pink best. Do not wave that thing in my direction again! Oh yes, please, sit back and relax, fancies. So, to admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question. It's alright, lass. You can tell them the truth now. Alright, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said. The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question? If I have to. So I snuck inside the carriage before they yoked up the horses, just like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I tell ya, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. Pitch in there. Then after a while, I heard this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of my skin, I did, and the scream just came out. It's because of that, Swell found me. He did help me get away, mind. A bang? Yes, he let you go. I fail to understand why you would let the street urchin go, Mr. Begilded. Oh, 'tis simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for fact. How? As I'm sure I said before, sir. I was sitting right on top of the place when she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for. It's where I sat that night. And the cubbyhole of which you've spoken is underneath the seat, I presume. Yes. It does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature. Where did all the stuff go? Why isn't it showing all the, the luggage and stuff that was in there? Like... Whoa, wait a second. Was that always there? Did I miss that before? It's blood. Something wrong? Oh, it's just, well, it's blood stains so obvious, that's all. And yet Van Zieks had made no mention of it. I suppose that does seem a little strange. Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? Yeah, I don't remember that being there. Anyway, seat has a handle. Storage compartment, but there's nothing in here. It's totally empty. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Yeah, something's very wrong. Just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature. Aye, but of course the wee lass is stuck in there. Because I parked myself on the seat of the duration. Ah. So you see, that's why I left the last bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent. Even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question. Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt of my own good name for the sake of a less fortunate lass. My goodness. What a perfect gentleman. My lord. This fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir. How nice. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Oh. Fantastic. Saint alive. All 6 members of the jury consensual and they're leaning to a verdict of not guilty. I'll take it. Mr. Naruhodo, this... Well, it must mean... It must mean what? That we're victorious. But something's wrong with the cart. We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourtesy. Honestly, why bother smacking your desk with your hand or your fist when you can smack it with your steel-toed boots? This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's latest statement gives us clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole with the witness predator was included in their investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings, as noted in black and white here in the police report. Good lord! The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McKinley's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. I mean, I did see everything there. Orjar! How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been effected, Consul? Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. I can corroborate that. Well, mind Ebenee's friend. Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry. Go ahead. You tell the court now, fella. How the sullen elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zeeks. I'm not about to lie, if that's what you want me to do. Oh, Counsel, do you have something to say on the matter? How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of the little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense. But as far as I remember, at least. When I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes. Are you sure, counsel? Oh, right. So, what? What are you saying now, you daft doll? I thought you were on my side here. Yeah, I'm on your side, dude, but I'm not gonna lie. What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position? You asked. What did you expect me to do? Did you expect me to lie and then you're gonna, like, trample all over me? I'm just gonna tell you what you expected to hear. As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Interesting. 'Tis not altogether pleasing, fella. I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then. A fellow's memories are curious, too, and not altogether reliable. No, the court must consider the facts. That the cabillo under the seats is as empty as a devil's heart, so it is. Do you think that perhaps it would be in your best interests now to admit that you might have been mistaken? Why do I feel like something's not right here? I should like the jury to weigh on this matter, I think. That compartment is designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The Guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times, so it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo isn't that irresponsible. That money-lending fleecer and the pick purse are lying. Oh. I can't believe I was nearly taken in. Stinking rich are always stinkers. None of them McCowers, a lot of them. What? Oh no. It's a trick. Of course it's a trick. Quite so. I must incur here. Okay, that's quite enough of you. Let's not go too crazy here. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please. Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Are we at press everything mode?
Hold it!
Might as well. So, you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run? Well, yeah. I mean, what's the point in spending Joey to make you Bob, eh? That's a rum idea, isn't it? Especially means there's no point in spending money to make money. It actually makes sense. Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief. Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants. Well, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making 20 to which the cabman testified. And 1 little scapegoat race riding for free. The red conch of a driver always goes for the same grub before his last run, see? So that's why I slipped into the carriage and get myself in under the seat. Nice and easy, right? But your hiding place is a storage compartment, full of equipment for the coach, no? Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there. Sure. I always check all that and cram it into a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much. And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived on the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all this stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you. Seems we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue.
Hold it!
A waste of time? Why is that? Well, most nights I'm on my own and God permit at least some of the time. I beg your pardon, did you say God permit? Oh, yeah, well, that's what my kind call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose. Point is, any normal run the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it. On that night, Disco sat on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. He was totally stuck. You mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while the events unfolded in the enclosed cabin? Yeah. Right, mister? To be sure, to be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift a cushion that you can sat on and find a child now, do you? So this Mr. Strahd couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Hold it!
So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all. Now, Jot, most days I push the curtain up with my head just to look out the crack. Then I could have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle. I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. I mean, I can't have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other one, see? So most of the time the passengers play themselves opposite. But for some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head. For that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown into the clink. There's only a place to hide in the carriages, so it's Hobson's choice. Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open then? I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor. So anyways, I was a bit scared, but I had to just stick it out under there. Nothing else for it. Alright, the loud bang is...
Hold it!
When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling on the floor? Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. And you let out a scream involuntarily. That's right. And then I felt the cushion over my head get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes. Or not. Particularly in the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not? Well, Will, did you see what happened at the crucial moment? Yeah, I saw it. I pushed up a cushion and had a quick butchers while I had a chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke would have fallen on the floor of the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGillicuddy's account, of course. But then the fellow suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I sunk back down again, but it's too late by then. I should never have risked looking. Because of that, it's well found.
Hold it!
And when Mr. McGillicuddy discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place. I was scared stiff I was. He dragged me out and sat me down in the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason? Yeah, bloke had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit, and he ended up falling onto me. How awful. Both me and got covered in blood. It made me feel sick as a dog. blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilded for a while, is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know me name and what I was up to and that. And I heard something from up above. Someone screamed. Yes, Mr. Frost on the roof deck. Presume? Well, I don't want no one seeing my face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up smartish, and this dear Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent. For one brief shining moment, yes. It's clear that they are all still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we could clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right. I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me. I just can't quite put my finger on it. Carriage, there's a lamp. This will be able to see, not good for us. In we go. Skylight. Let's open the seat. Blood on the floor. I don't know, guys. There are no points where I would go over to him, too, to hear what he had to say.
Hold it!
See a lot of bang. Don't remember. Point is maybe jump. Scream. Cushion got lighter. Just a moment.
it!
I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Well, no.
Oh. All of a sudden you respond to that? Okay.
Excuse me.
Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Counsel? I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no, 'twas nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass, is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so it was. I see, yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. I don't know about yourself, but I find the darkness seems to make everything you said here seem that much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does. Maybe. Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything, an unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could hear was Irishman snoring. But jabbers, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yeah. What should we make of that last statement of hers? It's profoundly important, apparently. My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is a profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern mind, Counsel. Nevertheless. Miss Jean Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. It won't work on me. That's right. Insult the judge. Always a good move.
Hold it!
So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hit yourself? Not exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and have butchers to see what's what. What's what? But then when I saw the swell gotten on, it got me head down, so he didn't notice me. And Mr. McGilded sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah! Would you Adam and Eve it? What a mug. So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, see? Would he? Not likely. Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving Spigs to the market, snoring like an old dog he was. She never heard the door open? That doesn't make sense. Miss Lestrade, what you've just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. Huh? At odds? Are you sure, Matt? Absolutely. Seems my learned Nicanese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. Sylvan Seeks realized it too. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence. Or some complicit party's name, at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGill snoring. But think, Ryunosuke, think. There's something else she should have heard. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. on a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person. The victim.
Take that!
Thrice-fired Mason. Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Order! Explain your reasoning, counsel. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on the while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person aboard the omnibus was Mr. McGilden? Yes, it was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least, not in plain sight. So you were, in all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? With the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. And, from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its own onward journey. During which time, did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't it? Waiting for the swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Ah. We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zieks? Yes. He knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You've demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths and nothing more. He's dead right. How could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus? That makes no sense whatsoever. And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that. She didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. Neither can I. Mr. Foreman! I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. That's the same thing that the lady said. Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 jury members leaning toward guilty. Well, consideration for others is refreshing, my Nepalese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Is that the first time he actually drank his wine in this? Yes, very refreshing. Yeah, what are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadon? This is carnage. It's perfect. Juror number 2 is the only one left. Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going? I know. If we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilden's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much want to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen. But those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. You've said this before.
Hold it!
Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, If we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on the whole case. What are you saying? Counsel? Sorry, sir? Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate your attempting to prolong my education. Oh, that is not what he said. That's okay. Explain yourself at once. This game has, like, very fancy words. I remember the first time I was playing through this, I wrote down the new words that I was learning and had to look up. I mean, context is key, but I mean, like, I looked them up anyway just to get the actual definition. Like, I could understand the basics of what's being said here. When the accused boarded the omnibus in the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witnesses in the stand. And yet, the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. He was in there already? I mean, surely he had to have been there already. Maybe he was hiding. Clearly, he was in there already from beforehand.
Objection!
Tell me, my learned friend, what was the function of that clearly in your last sentence? Well said, Lord Heretics. Clearly is troubling me also. No, that's really not the point. The point is that the victim must have been in the carriage from beforehand. Then answer me this. By beforehand, to what specific point in time are you referring? Well, clearly, No! I must ramble more relevantly. Penalty is evidently not heavy enough, so I ask you again, judging by those Nipponese eyes, so I ask you again if this petty thief's words is to believe. Okay. He wasn't already in there. How the victim came to be inside the carriage. There's not another entrance. So sure, he was put there after he died. Man, I don't remember a lot of these. Obviously, the victim must have been placed in the carriage after.
Objection!
Oh no, is he gonna go into me saying obviously? It's the function of the word obviously. Okay, so I guess there's a different... Okay, a different entrance, fine. Clearly I don't remember any of this. We're just gonna go through this 10,000 times. Okay, there's another entrance. See, it tricks you by making the... Because you know how I could always tell that I had it wrong because the little life bar, so to speak, would stay on the screen? It tricks you by lifting it up off the screen. If the door wasn't open even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wondered what new fantasy you'd come up with in your blind panic. But behold the omnibus here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other has only windows. Fixed windows which cannot possibly open. In short, there's no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Yes. One other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. Alright, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Is it the skylight? But that's a window, too. Does it open? Here's the omnibus in which the incident occurred. It was this entrance where he entered the cabin. Let's go with it. Oh, the music stopped. That means I'm right. The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight!
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost had me lost for words. However,
Objection!
the skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
So you claim. But you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory. Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained, as the sound of the victim falling from his seat, having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat into the floor really have made such a loud noise that the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious. Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but... Might a humble fella make a wee comment here. Mr. McGilded? To be sure now, the two fellas who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... Hey. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would yous not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof? You mean the ones that stuck that knife in the man were... Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? You rotter, he said. You rotter! What are you insinuating? It's a flaming outrage. I've a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I. Mr. Fairplay, you're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker. And me, a very angry hatter. Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's a scandalous. I protest in the strongest possible terms. That's right, I protest too. How about you, you rotten scoundrel? He's like giggling over there. I'm not sure what I make of that. Order! It's not the time, witnesses. I will not permit the wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Van Zieks. It was the defense evidence that incited this outburst from your witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to. It seems, young witness, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. I propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You've intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what's termed a baseless accusation. I know I was rash to put that idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are you wasting time for? Get to them. Testify. Or get them to testify. I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. You have to see the matter through now, one way or another. If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once. What's happening, Mr. Naruto? The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy. Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. My lord. You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought on by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. We were the only two people on the roof deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that. If anything had happened when we were sitting, don't you think the other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us knew the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act in the open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. That's right, you see. We're innocent, I tell you. Though logically, of course, the argument falls down to the two of you and your collusion with one another. What? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings. Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense, over to you. Cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. Press everything?
Hold it!
So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck? Absolutely not, Dickon. No question about it, he said. None at all. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim in the enclosed cabin talking with this man here. Is this true, Mr. McLeod? Dear me, my lord. At the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie. Without doubt, you were engaged in... Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? At all? Ah. It is all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. I do well to remember that. Ah, I saw you with my own eyes! This is going so well. pressing this, just the press everything thing. Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus, past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark. Perhaps too dark to see clearly? Is this some kind of a lark? Is this some kind of a joke, he said? Is this what it is? Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly? Are you fair dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what he said? It's impossible, I tell you. Give you the keys to the vault if you can fall asleep in that bitter cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again. That's extreme. It was extreme, I tell you, and I had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked and let me in when I knocked. I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fellow. But you see, I was away with fairies and didn't hear ye at all. That's a lie. I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone. Oh, now, it was a cold night, so it was. People do seeing things that aren't real in the cold. 'Tis hardly surprising. Seeing things? Seeing things? I believe we have reached the impasse here in this particular point. You! Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm suspect in this case, then 'tis only fair that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competitions, what capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really.
Hold it!
So you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before? Oh, Loom, no. No, not once, never. He'd never met the man before, he said. Never! And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir. No, imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us had the remotest connection to the gentleman who was inside the cabin.
Excuse me!
Mr. McGilded? Yes, counsel. What can I be doing you for? Did the witness's last statements give you pause for thought somewhere? Not the remotest connection. Is that right now? I wonder. What are you insinuating now? Ah, Mr. Fairplay. It's too long, so it has. If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe it's fast approaching, is it not, your repayment date? I beg your pardon. You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. Well, now, is that a touch of the begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fellow to pass his crimes off on another. And young Mr. First. Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? You do making hats for a living, do you not? With their top hat sliding about on your head. Is that one of your own creations, is it? Oh, well, it's still just an apprentice, you understand. I'm leaving to find the perfect fit whatever fine gent walks through the door. Learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door. Perfect fit, is it? Well, it's a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you. They like distinctive touch. Customers. Such as Thrice-Fired Mason. Ah! That was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence for, my lord. Yeah, this you mean? Can't help thinking that poor fellow hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? Oh! That's one of my hats. Aye, that it is. So, it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. Sort of customer I'd wager you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. Wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case. You little weasel. Ugh. He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. Gilded has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Please, don't let me my little interruption hold up the proceedings.
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my lock with you in a minute. He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute. That's what he said. Take a look for yourself. Go on. See, it's shut past now, just like it was in the night. So it is, of course. A fellow that size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through still and all. What? Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand. Now, you hold on a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? I was riding on this on another occasion when, well, I broke wind, loudly. I shocked myself with it, as it happens. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Oh, I just meant to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylights, you see. But, just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as a roach, I did. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was inside the cabin with Shane.
Fine. Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade. It opens. The skylight. That was what we're talking about, right? All them skylights open. Dead easy. More easily than you can load that weapon. That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, You can't do it from the inside, you mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck at one of those drags. And I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out of my ears. Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't bust unleg it. So what I did was use the skylight, opened the catch, jumped right through. But yeah, the catch from the skylight is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Bailiff, come up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify the witness's claims. On my hat! See? Order! Order! So it appears that the street girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck. Mr. Naruhodo, this could be the clue that we've been looking for. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Okay. So the skylight was fastened shut before, but now the catch has been undone. We should be able to open it. Shoop. Anything in there to look at? You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. And there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. Sure, the witness has been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. Wait, is that blood? So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, come on now. I need a better angle. Okay, just, ugh. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening. Okay, come on now. I see something there. Do you... Maybe I have to go inside. Like, do we see this? It does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. Why someone like me? What is it? Look, just here. Look at this. She went to Susato slam me into the omnibus. That's without question. It's blood. Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely it can't be unrelated to the case, can it? Okay. Oh, well, funny you should mention proof.
Objection!
Blood. On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach, and immediately afterward, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utter humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence. Hopefully this isn't different too. Like the clearing out of the under... Like, we had no way of seeing the blood last time because we didn't know about the door, so... I don't know whether it was there. No, you can't! I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you! It's impossible! Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. Counsel? My lord? I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is the evidence to which you allude? You'll point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight. But I just... I thought the fact that I... Whoops. I thought the fact that I presented it with the blood stain. By Jupiter, is that blood? This blood stain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my! And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. Order!
Hold it!
But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. It only found its way to that particular spot on the skylight. Sure, and that would be very convenient. And let's keep in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But, there's no way to know for certain, is there? The gent really fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? Yeah, but that was a new stain. It's all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fellow dropped from a fair height. Right there. So it is? What? No. But it can't be. It's all lies. My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. Silly thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of this guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it. Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us the delightful park couldn't have done such a thing. On three then, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Objection!
A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, and what would he be referring to there now, Lord Van Zieks? A blood stain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. What? Why? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see. It's clearly blood.
Objection!
It is new. I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can state with absolute surety that no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least not until this trial began. But are you suggesting, Lord Van Zieks, that the stain of blood was fabricated? Yes. And while the court has been in session. What? Oh, man. What a palaver. I must say, I didn't expect such crude reason from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zieks. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fella known all over the capital for the fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey. Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware that your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. But each time it happens that a case that you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? Oh no, please, take your time. When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of the crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Tut-tut, Lord Van Zieks. This will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel? No. I think it's fair to say this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse for my desperate man. The blood on the skylight did exist, you say? But if you so will cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus has been here in this courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood on it without without the world and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, counsel? It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that the court has been in session. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter in your own words. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think... Man. We need to pursue the truth. That's what these games are about. We are not going to turn into the whole we must do anything to win. Even though Ryunosuke Naruhodo really wants to win. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. Wait, what? Did I press the wrong button? However, okay. In terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh? Good gracious. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, there is. Seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit. Deceit. I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take as a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently on the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten, feckless gouger? Feckless gouger? You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. 'Tis a plot to undermine me, so 'tis.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as, to start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger's seats. The police investigated the omnibus. This compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Vanzies, no one is able to corroborate your claims. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say, I cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord, no doubt that there is not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry? I looked at it, I saw it. About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? Yeah, the blood in between the seats. That was different. My lord? Yes, counsel. There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. What? What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare to betray me, you little maggot, you'd better start watching your back.
Objection!
Silence, McGilded. The court awaits defense's clarification. This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. What exactly is the alleged mark that you claim appeared some point in the trial? This blood.
Got it!
If if we considered the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this blood stain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Good Lord. Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine or whether it is unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. This trial is over. Mr. McGilded, I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but it's all over now. But you're the defendant. It's over, I tell you. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw, it's all nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that bloodstain is there now. Well, and over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought that better of Lord Van Seeks. Well, my lord, I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence. And in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue. Your lordship can't be serious. Lord Van Seeks, what is your position? The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am, of course, obliged to confirm with the defense first. What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty. Yes. Which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now with all of these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. The defense believes... Oh, what a question. Ladies and gentlemen, the third case of this game. I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, at this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence. What are you saying, man? Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. Good gracious me! Order, order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused innocence into question. Are you of sound mind? Oh, 'twas a grand decision to appoint me as my lawyer, so 'twas a grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle in the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? Tis just as the right honorable gentleman so succinctly put it afore. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did you put it? Nothing more than a formality. I mean, that's true. They always laugh. I really don't know what to make of all this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake? His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said. The stinking rich are always guilty of something. You mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely park. Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I wonder if that was a illusion of choice too. Like if I had said, "Oh, he's innocent," if Ryunosuke would have been like, "I can't, in good conscience, say that." I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection!
But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth. Lord Van Zieks, my lord. The case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But wait! When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zieks ordered the evidence be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter. That's so unfair. The culpability of the defendant has not at the present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. What? Well, Van Zieks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. Do you mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time? 'Tis the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue the matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Magnus McGilded. Good grief, you more to say to me, have you? Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over. Well, something to be looking forward to then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded, not guilty. It's so fancy and happy, but I'm feeling not great about this. This is a rough trial, guys. This is a rough case. I can't believe it. This is an outrage. They should have examined the evidence more. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent. With the courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. And my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end. With the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. That certainly was a long trial. Yes, it was. Your first ever trial on foreign soil, and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. And to you, Miss Usato. Thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection. Aye, that you did. Mr. McGill did. And that girl is with him too. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh, what stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks they'd be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I heard it was a sight to behold. To be sure it was. And I've you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. I don't know what you're saying, fella. Did I walk out of there a free man, then? I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning. You're a straight-talking fella, ain't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. Just water under the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? Aye. We've all seen that I didn't do that odious and absonant deed. 'Tis grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now, the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters into hand and sort out the wee details. They'll see for what it is. They'll get the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. Do you have your hand in the police? It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed beforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. But be weist? I don't know. You're a humble people, aren't you? You're from the East. Well, if you insist. But have this. Still, no. You deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. It's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? We're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. They're going to examine it again? Now? Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of the matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where I can. 'Tis a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fairly well. It was an absolute pleasure meeting yous. Don't know whether I can say the same. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. And there he goes, a free man. Oh, I forgot she was here too. Wow, that really does take a while, doesn't it? Don't move! Whereas I want to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up. Sorry. And I hate all grown-ups. Ah, there you are. Naughty, naughty, running off like that? Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now? And taking that with you as well? I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ha! Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me. Excuse me, but who are you? Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. The inventor. Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself. Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all? I just took my eyes off it for a moment whilst I was changing to a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. What's it? What? I have no idea what this girl is talking about. Anyway, you're coming with me now, back to my laboratory. Did the English call it laboratory? What? What for? To apologize, of course, silly, to my technician. What? You mean, say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has taught you that before? An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Come along then, follow me. Fine, have it your way. Oh good, you see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end. I'm fairly sure that's what she wants. That what she wants is to not get shot by that massive gun of yours. We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye! I'm so sorry for all the fuss. She was a lively one. Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now, too? Yes, you're right, but... where to? Oh! We haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff. I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings. But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck. Don't worry, though. I have a plan. If worse comes to worse, I've heard of a lovely park where we can spend the night. Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilden Park. I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our usefulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one. Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable. Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilden down. That 1,000 guineas would have been paid for a lovely warm room. Or mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned. The case was far from over.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade!
Water! Bring water, quick! What the... How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating. No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there. Oh. This can't be.
Well, I guess that's the end of that then. Perhaps we will find out more next time about what that all was about. But let's let's carry on with the usual debriefing of our case here. Oh, it was another long one. Yeah, so before I played it, I was like, I'm pretty sure I just don't like this case, just because of how it like all of the whole thing with the defendant. Like, clearly the defendant is not a great guy, and it is very obvious, and then everything going through with it, and him messing with things allegedly, but pretty sure he did, and of course being set free. Everything being a case of not guilty, even though like everything is messed up. So I didn't think that I liked it because of all of that, but it actually wasn't. I mean, it was kind of long. I think I was just tired at the beginning of the first part, because I did a little bit better this time. But I don't know. I guess it seems like when it's long and the meaninglessness whenever it's like, oh, I really don't want to defend this man. He's not a great guy. But hey, it's, it's what it is. So it does introduce very well, as we'll see next case, that whole little cutscene at the end there gives a little bit more of the overarching kind of deal and character stuff, and you'll see. But yeah, the defendant was not great, but honestly, I didn't hate it. It wasn't like a tiresome case that I despised. Like, nothing's going to beat Rise from the Ashes with tiresome cases that I despise, but all in all, not bad. Not as bad as I expected before I played this. So yeah, we're moving on, and we're officially lawyers in Great Britain now, and need to find lodging, apparently. So all that to be happening soon enough. Stay tuned, and you will see what becomes of us. And in the next case. So I'll talk to you guys then. Bye.